Anderson Solar to show up.
Oh, great! Well, what a party!
It would be. It would be nice. Yeah. It would be nice.
Claire, you want to give us your take, a hot take on what's going on with Iran and Israel? You got anything to add?
Not really. I'm glad nothing much has happened. I wouldn't like World War III to have broken out. So I'm kind of relieved that nothing much is happening.
No, but it could with our response. There are rumors that it might happen tonight. You know, there's an Iranian Brit over there in London. He has a channel called 2C TV. He's very popular now. Mayar is his name. Mayar 2C. He's very pro
I don't know him.
You know, Iranian nationalist patriot. He's anti-Islamist, and he's really rooting for the downfall of the Islamic regime in Iran. He's very effective also in his.
Persia was a beautiful place. It was gorgeous.
Benny Haret says, Sammy, quote, "We were saved by the grace of God." Reality, quote, "We were saved by the U.S. money and weapons." You know what the truth is? Yeah, that's true. We do give them a lot of money for the weapon systems they got in the money.
Yeah, well, you know what? I know firsthand. No.
That's a good thing too.
No. Listen, we have to dispel this myth now. Israel is conveniently allied with the United States, but we can actually, do it on our own, and we are going to do it on our own tonight without Biden, because Biden has cut us loose again. He's playing a double game with us. And again,
one day Biden's an anti-Semite and pro-Palestine, and the other the next day he's for Israel. I don't get him. I don't get it.
Well, you can't have your cake and eat it too. The whole bragging about the U.S. and the U.S. funding and the U.S. dollar, you guys bitch and moan about the satanic Rothschilds, but it's by the virtue of the Rothschilds and the dollar and the world reserve currency that you can be so magnanimous, and you can be so what do you call it? It's to throw your money around and win over countries and buy, and also by virtue of the Brits and the royals and the Freemasons and all these secret societies and their grip on the world. And, it's bullshit. You want to have your cake and eat it too. How can you have a free country without the goddamn bankers and the Satanists and the Freemasons and the Brits and the royals controlling you via control of the money in the Fed? And then you still like to brag about, we're so magnanimous. We're so...
okay, all right. Let me
do this for you. You know why? You know why? Let me finish, Vaughn. Just let me have my say. I'm on a roll. I'm on my soapbox now. It's like, listen, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Your country is demonic. It's demonically possessed because of the money. Okay, it's because of the money. And I'm not an America-hating scumbag. You are the stupid, delusional assholes that want to have your cake and eat it too. Give up your dollar. Demand the end of the dollar reserve system and go back to being a free country, because you're not. How can you want to have your cake and eat it too? You want to be big shots and control the world with the control of the world's reserve currency, but at the same time, you're being treated to such social engineering that turns you into goddamn apocalyptic mutants, okay? Because these are the people controlling your money, and at the same time, you want to be big shots. Oh, we're number one, but you're not.
We'll never be free with the money.
You're sick. You're satanically possessed, demonic trolls. Without any control over your country. Your country is totally dominated, hijacked. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Right now, we have to play your game because the people running your country are sick and twisted and demented, but they have control of the Western world.
What do you think, Claire? Is America under the control of these whatever people call them, Illuminati, the Rothschilds? Do you think there's something to it? What do you think?
Well, I think Israel and America are kind of like a couple, and you never really know who's in charge. But it does look like America's using Israel to start a war with Iran.
Absolutely. And I said it yesterday and the day before and many days prior to that. I'm not going to go, into the crazy world of, speculations, but there are cults. What the hell is Bohemian Grove? What the hell is Bilderberg? What the hell is all the, they're out and out open with the World Economic Forum and the goddamn CERN and all this. And it's like, you can't deny that they're into occultic shit and they're evil and they're twisted.
Right. And they
all
are
right.
evil,
But at the same time, we have genuine people in America's government that want to be good, that want to do good, but you're swimming in the swamp, you're swimming in the sewer. You have your hand in hand with people. How are you going to cleanse yourselves? How are you going to free yourselves of being so?
Here's a good picture. This is what I think, Sammy. Take a look at that. What do you think about that picture?
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true.
Yay.
That's basically the politics.
That animation is absolutely true.
That cartoon basically sums up the politics.
That's right.
And it's not a conspiracy theory. They're talking openly about this on all the news networks. It's like Biden has facilitated Iran's aggressiveness and belligerence against us now.
Uh-huh.
Bottom line, this is no argument here. He did this.
There's no argument. I definitely agree with you. But what's the plan going forward now? I mean, what's the solution?
We wouldn't need to play this game of help us out with subsidizing our military. And you have control over our military-industrial complex, and we'll have a convenient alliance where we rub each other's backs or whatever. If it wasn't because of the dollar reserve, a sort of trap that once it's done, and now they just want to buy whatever little time they can, or they need to pull off their reset. On our behalf, using us. And Claire is right in her suspicions. Look at the double game they're playing with us. 1 second they're supportive, and then they take away the support. 1 second they're behind us, and then you're on your own. Why? Because they need a smokescreen, diversion, distraction, and it's happening now. They want to blame it all on us. It's not working. Because you become mentally retarded, America's mentally, just like losing it. There's no denying that America's mentally.
I think America has wet brain, if you know what I mean. I think America has like.
Well, it's okay. Now wait a minute. It's easy to point the finger at America, but the problem is that the nation state of Israel was literally financed and created by the
by the British Freemasons, yes.
Well,
and by the British bankers, yes.
Money,
and the Balfour Declaration, yes. And I talked to Atwell about this, and there's no.
Yeah, but what do we do now? I mean, that's okay. That's 70 years ago. What about today, though? What do we got to do about it today? What are we going to get rid of the
It was brought into existence for a reason. And but at the same time, there's no denying that there is divine intervention in all of it. And even with America's circumstances, there's divine intervention. The hand of God is there.
Hey, dude, if you want to talk about paganism, come on the show and talk
about paganism. By God, get in here. Let's talk about paganism.
Anyway, I think I think we're going down a dark path, and we just can't let these bad people win. And we gotta stay cool, man.
Well, there's pushback. There is pushback. There is a fight.
I will say, man, Biden made a 180 quick, man. I mean,
he did.
It was not even a week ago. He was condemning Israel and they're committing war crimes and Israel needs to be stopped. And by golly, the next day he's the biggest Zionist you can ever fucking find.
We got your back. It's a rock solid. It's what did he say? What was the expression?
I don't remember. I don't know. I don't even think he speaks English most of the time. He doesn't.
And now guess what he said to Israel? Take the win and don't respond. You know why he said that? in order to cut Israel loose.
Well,
Because
actually, that's a good quote from Biden. If he did say that, take the win and move on. Israel should. I mean, look. I mean, what is Israel supposed to do now? What are they going to nuke Iran? They just escalate it even farther?
No. We're going to hit their military installations, because this cannot go without any sort of response from us, because it gives them a free hand. It gives them the free hand to continue doing this to us without any responses. This is just like Hamas, the cycle that began with Hamas. And that lasted for 20 years, nonstop rockets. And then we're supposed to be restrained and not fire back and not fight back. This is a state actor now. This is a sovereign nation that's threatened to annihilate us, and they've directly attacked us. This is not something, and Biden's administration said this for a reason. They said it for a reason, in order to evade having to take any initiative. They're going to let us be the fall guys. Like I said before, we're the bad guys. We're the ones that ignited this war, and we sucked them into this war. And they had no other choice but to get involved. You understand? That's why they've been holding back. That's why they've been, not responding to all of Iran's aggression and all of Iran's, attacks on American bases, killing Americans. Also, they just provide lip service, but they need a fall guy. They need an excuse. They need cover. There's no denying that. That's why I'm saying Americans are mentally ill to not see that. Claire sees that. Claire, tell me, do you see that? Do you understand that? I think she does.
Sorry, what am I supposed to see? I was a little.
I'm saying that you're looking at the situation on the ground, and you're saying that America needs a fall guy. They need someone to blame for the mess it's inevitable.
Yeah, sure.
And it's not America. It's the administration. It's the deep state. It's too general a statement to say America. It's that rubs
there is no America
the wrong way, and it sounds anti-American. Anti-American. It's not. You've got a sick, demented, group of people that have hijacked your country.
Yeah,
and and you're powerless to stop them. It seems like.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, there's nothing I could do about it. I wish I could do something about my government, but if I attempt to do anything, they'll have me at the bottom of occasion, Guantanamo Bay. So.
Well, we found out what happened when Patriots went to Washington,
D.C. They're surveilling everybody. The AI is surveilling everybody.
Yeah, you think they got rid of it? I mean, this is how you do it. It's all fake. They're gonna vote to keep this unlimited wiretapping and government surveillance going on. I mean, they're just going to continue it. Where's the Republicans standing up for American civil liberties and American freedom? There's no one that believes in freedom here in this country. There's no politician in this country that believes in free speech and the right to have to live free without warrants. We're back in the days of fucking jolly old England. We might as well rename the United States of America the 13 Crown Colonies. Just rename it the 13 Crown Colonies, man.
Yeah,
we're right back where we started from. We're right back on square one. I mean,
one of my takes is that Congress has the power of an absolute monarch over the American people.
Well, here's the thing, okay? According to the Act of 1871, that's exactly what happened, John. The power was given back to the Crown of the control over the 13 colonies, and that America is no longer America again. We're now literally servants of the Crown. So, yeah, you're right. That's exactly what the Act of 1871 did. Also, it established Washington, D.C. as a country within a country. Now, originally, it was supposed to have its own little rule set and its own laws and rights and all that shit. But apparently, what they've done instead, they twisted it into a pretzel and made D.C. the capital and gave D.C. complete control over the United States.
You think Matt Gaetz is going to do something about it? You think
Matt Gaetz is not going to do shit
about it? You think Martin Taylor Greene?
Nobody's doing a damn thing.
You think Donald Trump's going to do something about it?
Donald Trump can't do anything about it.
He's going to do nothing about it.
Nobody can do anything about it. Nobody. Nobody can do anything about it. It will literally take
all of this
to change this shit. Literally,
all of this that's been going on for the past, decades has just been a fulfillment of prophecy that's found in the book of Joel. It's found in the book of Joel. It's like we talked about this. It's exposing the dark underbelly of this monster that's really hijacked America, and it's the real power behind that's pulling the strings. And it's a monster. It goes back to the British Empire. I mean, it's just the succession of the British Empire. Alex Jones put it very clearly in his description of what happened after the Second World War and how everything got amalgamated. And you have all these different, power centers or sort of like, groups that compete for power and also collude, and they've turned America into what it is.
Shithole. Yep, they turn it into a shithole.
I mean, you could do the breakdown of it.
It's a third world shithole.
No, you can deconstruct everything. You can make sense of it. I mean, it's very tedious. You can deconstruct all of it. All the information is there, but then what you're left with is, what is your final sort of a conclusion about what's going to happen with this situation? Because it's not going to be salvaged. This is not America as it stands today is unsalvageable. It's unredeemable. It cannot be saved.
Benny, what is it about it that you don't like Sammy? I mean, are you mad that Sammy's got a bigger ding dong than you? I mean, what exactly is it, Benny? I mean, I thought this was a funny comment. I like to see Claire turn Sammy into a court eunuch for the fucking Ottomans assaulted. That is a kind of a funny comment, though. But anyway, what's your problem with Sammy? What do you don't like about what Sammy? Sammy's telling the truth. Is that what you don't like? Is that you don't like it that Sammy's telling the truth? Is that what hurts your feelings, there, Benny? Go ahead, Claire.
Maybe Solar's being detoxed. I don't know. They're like, "Where's Solar?" I said, "Maybe he's in detox or something." I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm telling you,
Claire, bring some humanity to the conversation.
Well, I mean,
where's Claire?
It seems a bit strange to say it's all hopeless. I mean, isn't there at least a solution in theory, even if you don't think it's going to be, adopted?
Yeah, there is a solution in theory. People need to own up to the truth, look everything in the face, look themselves in the mirror, read all the history, get a summary, sort of like
what do people need to do, Sam, apart from read all the history?
Ron has been doing all of his life.
People leading people, soul ingredients people.
But at the same time, when you reach the conclusions of it, John has reached many conclusions. He did his own research. He analyzed. He knows it's like he's been black-pilled. You see what's happening now. John is black-pilled. He's not red-pilled. He's black-pilled. He sees what's happening with America. Am I going to give a summary, sort of like in theory, solution? The solution is, at this point, the economy and the dollar and the whole system is unsalvageable. Can I speak?
Jews do not exist.
Can I just get my word out? It's unsalvageable.
Nobody exists.
It has to end. All right. And now they're using us because they couldn't get it out of Ukraine. Ukraine didn't do the job for them. And now they pulled a fast one by doing what they did to get us where we are now. This was all engineered. This was all navigated. This was all driven. But what did Alex Jones say in his analysis on the CIA, and the CIA openly admitting that they came after him to persecute him? It's everything with the CIA is all about plausible deniability. It's all cloak and dagger. They all do it. They do it behind the scenes. They don't want to be detected, but now they're being detected all over the fucking place. Their hand is being detected. This was driven. We were driven to this point, and this was predictable. And I predicted it even prior to October 7th. I saw all of it. I saw all of it leading up to this point. Why? Am I a genius? No. No, I'm not, but it's because it fits in perfectly with biblical prophecy. Whether it's self-fulfilled prophecy, it's not. These people have done what they did for their own interests, all right? And it's now their hand is detectable. It's exposed. They can't hide what they did. And what they're doing now is beyond obscene, but it's in everyone's face, obvious. The manipulations and the double game they're playing now, 1 second they're this way, 1 second they're that way, 1 second they're, it's just ridiculous. And Claire is absolutely correct.
They're wishy-washy. I definitely agree with that. They're
Hey,
wishy-washy.
Judas, you don't like my paganism? There's the door, buddy. Hit the fucking door. Okay? You don't like my paganism? Hit the fucking door. I don't like paganism.
Got a bug
Get
up
the
his
fuck
ass
out.
today.
Why are you here?
Yeah, Judas got a bug up his ass today. I wonder what happened.
Doesn't he? He's really on a tear today, man. He's on a tear today.
Anyway, okay. So what's the roadmap looks like, Sammy? What can we expect tomorrow? What can we expect in the next week?
All right, I'll tell you. I know this was what was on my mind. If there is a response tonight and we bomb Iran tonight, tomorrow is going to be D-Day for the markets. I mean, as far as you know,
the markets are going to crash because
I hope the dollar crashes and burns tonight, man. I can't wait. That'll be fucking.
No, I mean, if we respond tonight, if there's some sort of attack and a bombing of Iran tonight, you know,
have no impact on
you know, when it's just us, and it's without America and without any other country, you know, taking part or protecting like they did with what they did last night for their reasons. I'm saying that tomorrow, when the markets open, you know, you're going to have backlash. You're going to have because the markets on Friday, they fell 500 points. And it took a lot to keep the gold prices from continuing to spike, and it took a lot to keep the rates on the bonds from rising, from spiking. Even though when you have the top banker in America, Jamie Dimon, telling you that there's a risk of the rates spiking. All the big shots have pulled their money out of the markets. The markets are primed for an event, and this is the perfect excuse. This is the perfect story and a cover story and smoke screen. That's why we're being played. That's why Claire was right to say we're being played, we're being set up, we're being thrown into the cauldron as the fall guy. We're gonna have to take the blame, and we were set up for this.
Judas, if you had money, you wouldn't be here right now, dumb fuck. So no, you ain't got no fucking money, or you wouldn't be here. Shut up, you dumb loser.
Just ignore him, Vaughn. He's trolling. He's trolling.
That's the thing, though. I mean, if the motherfucker had money, he sure as fuck wouldn't be here. He'd be out spending his money. He wouldn't be here. So take your fucking lying ass and go find a parade, okay? Because you're lying out your ass. Because if you had money, you wouldn't be here. You'd be out spending money.
All right. But okay,
enjoying yourself. You wouldn't be here. So I don't want to hear your shit, Judas. You're just here to talk shit. That's all you're here to do.
Anyway, so if you didn't, basically, I did the right thing last night and stocked up on food and supplies. That is what you're saying.
I'm not trying to be an alarmist. It's just staring us in the face. I don't want to be a doom and gloomer, alarmist, and fatalistic and everything. And it's just obvious. It's reality, right? It's staring us in the face. The American administration, the backstabbing administration there, does not want to take the blame for a regional war and for the consequences. But at the same time, what happened last week, it makes me think that they have to pull the trigger. They have to pull the lever, because it's all going to fall apart anyway, with a war, without a war. They prefer that there's a war, and they prefer that there's a fall guy, and they prefer it not be them. All right? That's what's happening now. I don't know what's going to happen, seriously, but if there's some sort of response tonight, you can guarantee there's going to be a mess in the markets tomorrow. Absolutely.
So would you think anything's going to kick off? Okay, Israel attacks Iran tonight, and tomorrow what? Like, is Russia and the United States heading to war, or Or you think you think it's going to fizzle out? You think Iran and Israel just knock each other out and that's it? What
it could escalate into the whole cyber war and cyber attack, scenario, and Russia could take part in it, and it could be a perfect excuse for them to also start taking an active role. And also, the deep state in America can use it as their alibi. It's their alibi. It's their narrative. It's their setting the stage. You never know where this is going to come from, but you just know that the drama that has built and the tension that is built is there for a reason, because they want to pull a fast one on us, whoever it is, because they need to reset everything regardless. It's unsustainable. And just like I said, you can't salvage, and you can't just continue prolonging do you want America to continue this way, to prolong the depravity, the social
I'm with I'm with Thomas Jefferson. I think the tree of liberty must be quenched with the blood of tyrants and patriots. I mean, we need a refresh. We need a redoing. Yeah. I mean, but you can't do it though. I mean, you can't. I mean, how is anyone supposed to do anything? You get a boot on the back of your neck the moment you even think about it. So,
once again, Vaughn sometimes.
Claire wants to say something, Sammy. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Claire. I was saying, we can propose, solutions, even though we don't think it might be adopted immediately. We can talk about what we think is a problem and what we could do in theory. I mean, that's all I do, really.
Well, that's what secular Quranism is about, theory, right? Right, Claire?
Sure. I mean, as long as you have rational people. Where did John go? He kicked himself out.
Okay. It happens. I've done that to myself.
Well, it's like you can't do it without a rational majority, and they've made Western civilization irrational and mentally unstable.
Okay, then we imagine a situation in which people are rational again, and solve the problem of why they are irrational. Because I think fundamentally people aren't moved by facts and logic. They basically think, what group am I in? And they join that group for protection, and they don't care about the arguments. And that's how most people operate.
What's this?
I was just advertising.
I'm just sharing some comments from Claire, that's all.
I mean, people don't care about the arguments, do they? They just think, what does my group say? What would my group think of me if I'm seen to be agreeing with this person, even though what they say is true and logical?
There's no thinking outside the box, is what you're saying. People can't form their own opinions.
Well,
I think it all gets prolonged. It all gets prolonged because of this. Sorry, Claire. It all gets prolonged because of this vicious cycle of basically, in order to continue living a comfortable life. Yeah, I'm interrupting. In order to live a comfortable life, you have to shut up and let the evil social engineers continue prolonging the system. Okay. Now you can't have your cake and eat it too. You have to go through this discomfort. You're already going through this discomfort. And Vaughn said it many times. It's just like he wants the end of the system, the end of the dollar as the world reserve currency, a hard reset. Because why? Because otherwise you're just going to continue going down the road of depravity. When these people have the reign of power, they deliberately want to twist you, make you sick, make you irrational, make you weird.
They promote degeneracy. They promote filth. These people promote everything that's wrong with the world. Or not.
And they do it because
all
of
this filth and all this garbage. They promote pornography and mischief.
They want to stunt you. They want to cripple you.
And all this garbage that they do. And they just want to destroy the fucking world.
Is this difficult to understand? Is this something that's hard to argue? I mean, it's in our faces. They do it like.
I think the average person knows and understands this, but they just feel jaded, or they feel like maybe jaded's not the right word.
They don't believe that there's an agenda behind it. That there's actual a eugenicist Malthusian agenda to cripple you, to stunt you, to make you incapable of growth, incapable of marriage, incapable of family, incapable of normal, a nuclear family that used to exist. They want to destroy all of that. They openly stated they don't want that anymore. And this includes the Catholic Church that's gone gay, that's gone LGBTQ.
Well, yeah, and we don't get any help from the atheist Jews either there, Sam.
They're a big problem. They're also colluding with it. Also, they're conspiring with it. They're also into this sick population control theory of theirs, that there's too many people, or it's not just about that there's too many people. They just don't know how to handle and manage the population. So they want to cull the population. They want to stunt the population. They want to keep it from growing. They've gone insane, super satanic, super sick, evil, Malthusian, and they're shameless about it. That's what they've done. That's what they've become. It's not difficult to see that. That's what they are.
We got Vincent in the room. Welcome, Vincent. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm sorry. Whose show is this?
It's my show. We're live on Rumble, so you can say whatever you want. We're on Rumble, so if you want to act like a wild animal, you can go ahead and do so.
Well, I don't usually do that. I usually keep it, try to keep it classy, or sometimes I'm funny, or sometimes I get weird, but I mean, no, I don't usually throw out bad words. Why can you use like bad words on Rumble?
Yeah, Rumble, they let you do whatever you want. They don't censor you like YouTube. YouTube censors you.
Okay, how are you?
I'm doing good, Baruch Hashem.
Okay, yeah, actually, I just heard them, so I'll just jump in on what they said, and then I had a question. So yeah, the neo-Malthusianism, look, that was meant to spread everywhere, and it was stopped from spreading everywhere. And so now in the West, we have the neo-Malthusian culture, which is lots of free love and low birth rates and birth control. And in other areas, they didn't do that, so they didn't reduce their population. But religious people stopped that from being spread everywhere, and now we have an imbalance. So religious people are, to blame for that. But that's just what I want to say on that. And the fact that it's disproportionate that we only have low birth rates in the West. The idea was to get everyone to have low birth rates, everyone across the board, the whole world. Which I
don't think that's the case at all. I think the global elites tell us that we're evil and we're bad, and they say that they say white people are evil and bad, and we shouldn't have kids, or they don't have kids. But then they bring in all these migrants that have 6, 7, 8, 9 fucking little nigglets with them, and it's just a way to destroy the West, if you ask me. I think it's simpler than what you're saying.
And maintain a grip on control, because you have dependent people, and they're perched up on top of dependent people.
Yeah, well, the thing
and they're all on welfare, and we got fucking Americans sleeping on the street, millions of fucking veterans homeless on the fucking street, living in the goddamn gutter, and these goddamn fucking foreigner fucking migrants, they pour from Venezuela and fucking Honduras and El Salvador, and they come here and they say, oh, I don't like my hotel, it's too goddamn this, it's too.
You saw that?
They got the fucking audacity, the unmitigated gall to spit in our face and have.
In Yonkers, you saw that? You saw that?
Get enough? Go back to your fucking third world fucking shithole. If the fucking hotel ain't good enough, at least you got a roof over your head.
Yeah, that was a scene right there.
Fucking throw the fucking Americans out on the street. Why?
Okay, can I just?
Why?
Can I just back to?
And then they get free fucking credit cards. They get Snap. They get welfare, they get Medicaid, they get free fucking education, they get everything their heart fucking desires. And Vanya muted. And what does the American get? The American get a big old fucking whopping goose egg. That's what the American gets the bill. That's what they get.
I looked it up. I figured it all up. I figured up all the perks that these illegals are getting when they come in here. And it came to $5,600 a month. Can I get that kind of fucking money? No, but an illegal can. I figured it all up.
Can I just?
By the time you figure up all the little perks that the government's giving them, it comes to
$5,600
a month.
You got Mike Johnson. You know what Mike Johnson's answer to the Democrat? Democrat says, let them come in, keep the border open. And then Mike Johnson, the Republican, goes, well, we should just give them amnesty. Well, where I come from in New York, that's the same fucking thing. Amnesty and open border. There ain't no one doing nothing about anything. And then they're worried about, well, we got to give, 80 million to Ukraine, and we got to give 20 billion to Ukraine and 12 billion to Israel, and we got to give a couple of billion to make retirement homes for fucking queers, and we got to give all this money to this shit and that shit. Things that don't fucking mean anything for anyone. Everyone's getting robbed here. We're getting fucking robbed blind. It's like what Sammy says. It plays into what Sammy's saying. These people fucking leave us holding the bag.
Yeah.
They leave us
And
here.
it's because of this
you can do about it.
It's because of the vicious cycle.
The Midwest ain't gonna do something about it. They ain't gonna do nothing about it. They can't do nothing about it.
And where does it stem from? The fact that the whole entire system of the dollar, the world reserve currency, has been overplayed. It's exhausted, and now they're just tossing money into the gutter. Because every 3 months, the deficit grows by $1 trillion. Now it's every 3 months. $1 trillion. That's 1,000 billion. Forget about the little, breadcrumbs. You've got 1,000 billion in debt growing every 3 months.
They won't even stop the bleeding, Sammy. That's the whole joke of it all. 3 trillion and what are you saying? $1 trillion in 3 months?
1 trillion every 3 months.
We're arguing about breadcrumbs. We're arguing about whether or not the ICE agents on the border gets 10 million to put more agents on the border. You got to stop the bleeding before you put the stitches in, asshole. I mean, holy shit. I mean, no one cares.
That's why I'm saying we're at
here. The Republicans sure don't give
why
up.
They can continue with their political antics and putting up a very good, whether it's left or right, Democrat, Republican, they put on a good show. They're very well rehearsed actors. Some of them even are very educated. And Marco Rubio is very passionate in Florida, and he seems very genuine, but he knows that this is unsalvageable. But he continues on. We'll give money to the Ukraine. We'll give money to the border. We'll give money to us, to Israel. But you're growing the deficit by $1,000 billion, like $1 trillion every 3 months. It's irredeemable. It's unsalvageable. You can't prolong it. And what's happening behind the scenes? They've already set the stage for the reset. But in the meantime, they keep on maintaining their heirs of political heirs. Like this is going to continue on forever. But they're already preparing for the demolition and the reset. And you see it. And you're still falling for their crap, whether it's Mike Johnson or whoever, or Trump or wherever. They have to maintain their airs and their illusions as if everything's routine. But in the meantime, you're being set up and they're going to demolish the whole thing. It's a controlled demolition and it's a controlled reset. And guess what? We're the suckers that are going to be the fall guys. They're pulling back and letting us advance and take the hit. And we'll be the ones to get blamed.
So Sammy, that's what I was saying early then don't take the bait. Do what Biden says. Take the win and move on. Don't take the bait. Don't fall for it.
It's not going to happen. This is the Middle East. This is why the Western world is not in tune with how things happen here and how people behave here.
Well, that's why a lot of people go in with
this.
They say Jews are the part of the problem and they own things is because they don't. I mean, this is you're feeding into the you're kind of feeding into the stereotype. No,
if we don't respond, we set ourselves up for annihilation.
Well, what's the worst that can happen then? What do you mean you're setting yourself up? What could happen that could be bad?
Because it turns into the Hamas. I told you the Hamas scenario.
You think more October 7th will happen?
Yeah, absolutely. People here are scared shitless about what these people are capable of. We're dealing with fucking primitive, not primitive, but I'd say that it's not just primitive. These people are savage. They're savages.
Yeah, I agree. These people
are savages. You can't negotiate with these kinds of people. But they're good at deception.
They're good at playing the victim. I'll give them that.
They're good at playing the victim, and they're good at deceiving, as if they want peace, but they don't. Takia. All right, so we know what their game is. We know their savagery. We know their two-faced behavior. The West has grown too fat and happy and decadent in thinking that we could just play our routines with them, but then you throw us into the grinder, and we're supposed to deal with savages with Western values, with us having to follow Western values, dealing with these savages that have no scruples. All right, if they see weakness, they take advantage of it. You saw what the Hamas did. You saw we backed off. We let them have their space, and they perceived it and interpreted it as nothing but weakness. And then they attacked, and they behaved like savage, atrocious pigs. And when they showed us their true face, but they hide behind this grandiose claims of a peaceful and
Look what they do to the West. Look what they do. Look what they're doing to Europe. Look what they're doing to Europe, and people and Europe is just letting these people in. They're pouring in by the millions every year, and all the crime. Look at all the statistics in crime. I mean, you're right. I mean, at least Israel's doing something about it. I mean, we can cry and say Israel acts unhumanely, or Israel's committing a genocide or whatever. But hey, at least they're defending themselves. You can't say that about the Europeans. Europeans ain't defending themselves.
What a short memory the West has. I mean, Afghanistan and Iraq, 1 million. How many Iraqi children? It was what's her face? The Secretary of State Albright. 1 million children perished, and she said, "Was it worth?" She said, "Yes." Was it worth it? She answers, "Yes." And how many other Iraqis? There was like, it could have been a good 3 or 4 million. And all the atrocities that were committed in the cities over there of Iraq during the occupation, Operation Freedom, whatever. That's all water under the bridge. That wasn't genocide. That was absolutely genocide. All right. What happened in Ukraine? It's over 500,000 dead Ukrainian soldiers. How many hundreds of thousands displaced, dead, injured civilians? And you saw the atrocities they're committing there. You're not calling that genocide? That's absolutely genocide.
Yeah, no. Look, I think it's a normal thing. I think that's what people do. I think when you're fighting the enemy, you don't think the enemy's a human being. That's why you get rid of them, right? I mean, I don't shy away from it. So people can sit here and do their crocodile tears.
The last thing we wanted was to have to go this route. We were trying to avoid it, and we got slapped in the face for having tried to avoid it. We got taught a lesson, a Middle Eastern lesson of the backwards savagery of the 7th century of Takia. All right.
But that's the thing. It goes back to those, Sammy. I talked about this for years with you, and it's not like I feel like I'm a broken record by saying this. Then Israel should just rip the Band-Aid off the whole Palestinian question. Then just get rid of all the Arabs from Israel. Just Stop playing this little pussyfoot game about, well, we're going to keep some of the Gaza. We're not going to get all the. We're going to keep some of the West Bank, and they're not going to.
We're beholden to the
Let's
West.
get rid of it then. Stop fucking play. Every 20 years, we're going to have this fighting going on.
But you see what happens then? We get accused of genocide.
Just get her over with it already. Just get rid of them already.
But we're beholden to the West. We're too dependent on the West. And at this point, because of the situation, this current situation, the circumstances we find ourselves in, what I said.
But you always say that we could do without the West. We could do it without America. So
well, now we can, because we're upon divine intervention and Messianic revelation. And then there's complete and total sort of absolute, absolutes. That's what's going to happen. That's my belief, and I see it coming. And the thing is, Israel had to walk the fine line with the West, with Europe, with America, and ally itself in order not to be isolated in a sea of savagery of the Middle East. The Middle East is savage. Once you see the true
face
of
their behavior, time, man. It's been there. It's been like that since the caveman days. So.
There's real. They smell. You know what? I'll tell you something. I'll tell you a personal story. This is true. This is like the behavior of the desert Bedouins, or it's still in the genetics, I guess. All right. One day, it's like I was really down. I was down in the dumps, and I was like, sort of not healthy. And this was when I was going through my divorce. And I was coming back home, and I looked really ragged. And I was with a couple of, I went shopping. I had like groceries in my hands, and I was wearing like this scrappy clothes and sandals. I looked really disheveled. I looked like weak and disheveled, and I was like walking kind of like I was.
You got the Jesus look going on, huh?
Yeah, I had the Jesus look going on, and I was like shuffling, and I looked like. Really like an easy target. And who was I was walking home, and who was confronting me on my way home? 2 Arab teenagers, like something in their teens, like 14, 15, maybe, around that. And they were ready to jump me, and they were being aggressive, and they were looking like I was an easy target, like dead meat, ready to be, consumed. Why? Because I looked like a wounded animal out in the desert for these Bedouin scavengers to feed on. These buzzards, these goddamn vultures, and that's when I saw their true face, their true behavior. They see it like a dying animal or somebody that's weak. And they won't hesitate. They'll show you their true face. And I'm making a sweeping generalization about all Arabs. You have decent people here too. But when you have the lowlives, like these uneducated lowlives, these primitive lowlives, these like barbaric lowlives, I had to swing my groceries at them. I hit them with my grocery bags to get them away from me. And then I showed them that I'm still aggressive, that I'm still alive, and they shoot, like I shoot off the fucking buzzards. I shoot off the fucking vultures. They showed me their true face. This is not a sweeping indictment of all Arabs or Muslims or anything like that, but there's a certain element of that in the Middle East, that kind of savagery. When they smell blood in the water, when they see weakness, they'll pounce on you, and then they'll jackals, like fucking vultures. Nothing holds them back. That's why when you show, if you're not strong, you got
to do some jujitsu with the nose. That meme with the Jew with the big nose, jujitsu. You got to whip him with the nose. I'm just trying to bring some humor
at that point. Like when you see a guy in a state like that. And I was aware of what I was going through. I was aware of the state I was in. And then you see these vultures. I literally had visions of jackals and vultures in the fucking jungle, or in the fucking, the savannah.
Jimmy boy, I would love to see you go after Sammy. Sammy would do karate chop you in the back of the neck, and you go down like a sack of bricks, dude. Jimmy, you couldn't take on Sammy. You're gonna
in the state that I was in at the time, all I could, feral youth exist in all races and nations. Sharia would deal with them good and parapa.
They don't.
Well,
Syria doesn't even deal with them in their shithole countries. What countries are we talking about? See, that's the thing I don't get. I don't get. If Islam is so great, then why is the Islamic countries so shitty? I mean, it's not like they're doing anything.
But you know how they deal with them. You know how they chop their hands off. They rape them in the ass, or they whip them, and that's what Sharia does.
Yeah.
That's what Sharia does to get these feral youths in line, and then they turn into, who knows what they turn into. It's like you cripple them; they become like whatever. It's very sad. It's very sad. I mean, it's uncivilized. It's very sad. It's backwards. It's like desert culture. It's real. It's like, I mean, there's some sort of a romantic appeal from like Lawrence of Arabia of the desert Arab Bedouin culture, but there's something really disgusting, savage, and primitive about it. You don't want it. You don't want this kind of civilization. It's not nothing to admire.
Well,
why did you bring it into the West? Why?
That's what it's going to come down to. If we get this World War III that people are itching about, what do you think is going to happen when civilization in the West falls? Who do you think is going to be running wild? Who you're going to have all these wild animals, feral fucking wild animals. I call them shit skins. I know I get trouble for saying it, John. You shouldn't say that. It's mean. But that's what they are. They're shitty people, and you're going to have these people running wild like animals. They're doing it now. Why do you think people and Walmart and all these big stores at CVS and Walgreens, they're closing down in big cities? Why? Because they're just looting, they're rioting, they're burning down the neighborhoods.
I got a video.
Doing it? You think it's Chad, the white kid? You think it's Johnny, the fucking the white kid from the Midwest? No. You can't say who they are, but you know who they are. Look it up. Statistics. I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame that no one points it out, and we pretend like it doesn't happen. We pretend like it doesn't happen. It's like this meme. I got this meme picture. At least we're not speaking German. Here, look, a white guy sitting on the bus, and you got a bunch of wild fucking animals holding the newspaper saying British to be a minority in Britain. Right? But at least you're not speaking German, right? That's the positive thing you can look towards, right? Hey, we're not speaking Kraut no more. We kick those damn Krauts ass. Well, what the fuck are you doing about fucking Ahmed and fucking Mohammed? You're not going to kick. At least we're not speaking Arabic. How about we do that? How about we kick fucking Mohammed and Ahmed's ass, and we'll get a meme going saying, hey, at least I'm not fucking speaking Urdu. At least I'm not speaking fucking Arabic. But it's okay to kill fucking millions of Germans to defend your own homeland. It's like the Irish. It's like for 800 years, we had the Irish Republican Army killing every fucking Irishman you can see, keeping Ireland for the Irish. But you let a bunch of fucking Africans in, a bunch of fucking Muslims. Ooh, we got to be so liberal and gay. Ooh, let them come in. They're running fucking wild in Ireland. But where's the IRA? Where's the IRA keeping Ireland Irish? Oh, you can't do that, John. That would be racist. So it's okay to kill English people? It's okay to kill Germans? That's not racist. But to kill Ahmed, it's racist? That don't make no sense.
I got something. I got something for you, John.
No sense, guys. You defend your country. It doesn't matter who the fucking invader is. You defend your damn country. It doesn't matter who they are. You defend the goddamn country.
I got something perfect for
whether it's fucking Hans from fucking the Rhineland or fucking Ahmed from the fucking desert, you goddamn defend your homeland. And no one said it. And I agree. England should defend itself against German aggression. They absolutely have a right to do that. But they also have a right to defend they're being invaded by Ahmed. And they have a right to defend it. They have a right to defend it. Anyway.
I got a perfect video for you, just perfect for the topic you're discussing right now. I mean, how ridiculous is this? It's a Paul Joseph Watson video. It's a short video. Play it, and then you're gonna, if you're steaming now, you're gonna have, oh my God, steam is gonna be coming out your ears and your eyes and watch this video.
All right, I'm sitting down, Sammy. Give it to me. Show me the video.
I put it in the private chat, the link.
All right. I'm gonna get
Your head is
triggered. Is
gonna
what you're
blow.
saying. I'm gonna be triggered from this video.
Your head is gonna explode.
When a flashlight isn't a lightsaber, this is the lightsaber flashlight. This new military flashlight is basically
an Afghan illegal immigrant in the UK had his asylum claim rejected, but then had his lawyers successfully appeal the case and win him the right to remain in the country.
Another convicted sex offender who continues to act inappropriately towards women, but was allowed to stay in Britain because committing sexual acts in public in Afghanistan would put him at high risk of physical violence from mob mentality.
This Afghan migrant arrived in the UK, was convicted in November 2017 for an act outraging public decency and exposure. Gets imprisoned for 12 weeks, put on a sex offenders register for 7 years, continues to engage in such behaviour around women, but then was approved for refugee status in the UK and not deported because publicly masturbating and committing sexual assault in Afghanistan is frowned upon, and he might be the victim of mob justice. He was granted refugee status, not despite being a sex offender, but because he was a sex offender.
Oy vey. Oh, fuck. White people are so fucking dumb. I mean, they really are.
Masturbating in front of little girls on the street.
Yeah, a pedophile. That's what we need. We need more pedophiles in the country.
Is your head ready to explode?
Yeah, thank you, Sammy, for showing me that. I appreciate that. I really, you really know how to rub my face in the big pile of dog shit on the carpet. Thank you. That's so stupid. I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, it's just like that. I mean, of course they would do that. Of course, the bleeding heart liberal would be like, "Oh, the poor migrant. Oh, he's gonna die. We gotta let the pedophile stay here." I mean, they think it's okay anyway, right? I mean, they think being a pedophile is that's going to be the next letter to drop. The LGBTQ. They're going to have that P for pedophile soon. Just get ready. 5-10 years from now, it's going to be a main thing. They already have drag queen reading hour. I mean, I literally watched this video, Sammy. They brought their kids, 7-8-year-olds, to a drag queen show. And the drag queen did a spin on the pole, and his fucking cock and balls fell out of his underwear in the middle of the show. Cock and balls, bloop, right out in front of all the little kinderlocks, Sammy. All the little kinder. Oh, get a good look. That's the
and again, it sounds like I'm reaching, but again, it's all the fault.
But thank God, Sam, we defeated the Germans, though. Thank God. I mean, what we would have done if we didn't defeat the Germans? I mean, shit. The Germans would have put them in camps. What could we have done? You know?
It all goes back to prolonging the.
I mean, the
system.
I mean, I joke around. I'm being a little hyperbolic. I'm being a little flamboyant, whatever the word I'm looking for is. But at this point, it's stupidity.
It's pure stupidity.
I mean, I know hindsight is 20/20, and we can all make better choices knowing we have the information that we have now. I don't know if we made the right choice, guys. I don't think we made the right choices in history. No. I'm just saying. I don't think we did I don't think we did half the things right.
I'll tell you something. People here are also extremely frustrated and in a state of disbelief that the prisoners we have, the Hamas prisoners, the Nukhba that committed atrocities, rapes, and the horrible, savage acts that they committed. Like one of them, it needed hospitalization because of a diabetes episode, and they gave him hospital treatment. And people here are in an uproar. They said, "What the hell are you giving people such terrible, committed such terrible that they deserve the death penalty? You're holding them in prison, and if they're gonna have like some medical issue, you're gonna treat them. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve to be treated decently. I mean, this is not. Again, this is showing a." Western decency, Western mercy. It's like they don't appreciate that. They see that as weakness.
Yeah,
and
you
then
have
you're taking advantage of it.
You got to have a soul. I mean, if you're going to have mercy and kindness, you got to do it towards people that can understand mercy and kindness. And maybe that's the answer there, Sam.
Right.
And you're saying these people are from the desert. They don't understand what these people are very violent and very crude and very crass. Maybe it's just not compatible. Maybe it's just two different groups of people that are just
Absolutely.
totally not compatible with each other. And I agree. And people want me to take side. And I see the comments in the side chat. Oh, John's a Muslim. Ooh, how dare he? Look, I'm going to call bullshit out for bullshit. The Jews, for the most part, act humanely. The average Jew acts in a decent and humane manner. They have ethics and they have values. I mean, the Torah invented morality, for fuck's sakes. I mean, where do you think it comes from, right? It's from these people that do it. And, you got to have kindness like Abraham, strength like Isaac, and mercy like Yaakov. That's what we pray for in the davening. You pray for that. You think the other people pray for those things? No, they pray for the strength and
Domination.
a machete. That's what they pray for. I mean,
they pray for egotistical domination, pride, and control in the name of Allah, in the name of Islam. They want conquest. They don't care about their polemics about mercy and a merciful religion. That means very little compared to their desire and aspiration for world conquest. That is what really is on their minds. That's what they're obsessed with.
But there's a difference. So there's a difference between there's a difference between Islam and Muslims. There's a difference between Jews and Judaism. You got to separate the two. Islam itself could be a good set of morality if you use it correctly, right? At the core of it, it's good. But the people that are practicing the religion is different. They're not practicing what they preach, as the saying goes. Practice what you preach, guys. So, at the end of the day, actions are what I go by. If I see people doing something outrageous, I'm going to call bullshit. I'm going to call it out for what it is.
I'll even quote Jesus.
I don't care who that offends. I'm going to call bullshit out for bullshit.
I'll even quote Jesus that I don't believe in and that I fully exposed with Atwell and Vaughn and on this show many times. But this is a very credible quote. By their deeds you shall know them.
Yeah.
And this applies to all people, that if you're going to judge anybody.
Well, that's not really a Jesus quote anyway. I mean, that's a Jewish saying anyway. I mean, that's just a ripoff from the sages, but I get what you're saying. It's known by Jesus. People know because of Jesus.
Right. Well,
like the golden rule. Jesus didn't come up with the golden rule, by the way. It was Rabbin. Rabbin.
They credit him with all of that stuff because he's like the figure, the role model figure in Christianity. But it's all what's the word? Plagiarism from
plagiarized. It's all plagiarized. Anyway, we're coming up to the 2-hour mark. We got 10 minutes to go. Claire, you're awful quiet over there. You're okay. You didn't fall asleep on us, did you?
No, I'm here. As you can see, I'm posting. It's just easier to post sometimes, and I think maybe posting is quicker and people absorb the message in one sentence and hearing me speak. So
most Jews, Christians, and Muslims are hypocrites. That's a good statement because really, I mean, okay, what is Yahudi? Yahudi is supposed to mean you acknowledge and give thanks to one God, right? Christian is to mean to be like Christ, and a Muslim means to submit to the one true God, right?
I think it's
at the end of the day, aren't we all Christians, Muslims, and Jews if you go by those definitions?
I think that they need to follow the no-hide laws, and they don't, or they have the wrong definition of idolatry. So when you tell Christians that they are guilty of idolatry, they just don't care.
What about the out of control violence and savagery we're witnessing in Europe on the part of so-called refugees and foreign invaders that are acting brazenly in Western European countries, and it's they're given license and they're given passes. And the Europeans are too ashamed to, or not too ashamed, they're just too politically correct to call it out for what it is.
It's politically correct, and they feel guilty for the past. Ooh, we're evil. Ooh, we're colonizers. Ooh, we're imperialists. Get over it. It's a pass. Ooh, we
did a complete 180.
Yeah, I think the situation is caused.
Let's give Claire the floor. Go ahead, Claire.
I think the situation is caused by the operation of representative democracy. I think female voters basically don't really care about immigration. It's only men who get angry and riled and concerned. But the women think, well, if our men are not going to marry us, we'll just let the foreign men in who
to rape us, and they're openly accepting rape.
Even that, but it's like, well, at least they're going to marry us for our passports, which is better than being pumped and dumped by men who will never marry.
Did you see that Finnish video of those Finnish women doing that dance? Basically to ward off immigrants and Middle Easterners. They did like a "Don't Rape Me" dance, like some really stupid thing, and they were serious about it. I could find you this. This is like, it's become absurd and mentally ill.
Yeah. Show me the video. I haven't seen that video.
It would encourage your enemies by when they realize how stupid and mentally ill people are. We'll just come in and take your stuff and your women.
You think Western men are incompetent?
Well, they keep failing the shit tests of the feminists, and the more they fail these shit tests, the next one's going to be worse. If you let them get away with this thing, the next one is going to be worse.
I wouldn't want to marry the typical Western man anyway. I mean, he's a soy goy, feminized, faggot, fucking queer. Talks, kind of like Vincent, stereotypical white man these days. I mean,
well,
do you really want to be married
Vincent doesn't
like
even.
That?
Yeah, I mean, but to be fair,
Vincent that's why I got myself a Muslim woman. She, what's the average white woman like? A fucking whore that has 100 bodies. By the time she's 19, she's already sucked and fucked the entire high school. Is that the type of white woman you want to marry? You want to marry someone like that?
I mean, the thing is, marriageable white men and women tend to marry out. If they have a choice, they will marry somebody not of their race. So, it's kind of double trouble for white people. Yeah. In that the people who are marriageable won't marry a member.
The same applies to Jews, secular Jews in New York. They behave like white people.
That's one way of putting it, Sam.
Right.
Yeah, the secular liberal Jews in America.
Jews like white people, or white people acting like Jews? That's the question.
They're both in the same mix. They're both in the same bag. But you know what? That's ending now. You know what? Why? Because the whole world has decided that we're committing genocide, and they don't want to intermarry with us anymore. And that's the hand of God working right now. There is not going to be in the future more, race mixing with the Jews. The Jews are on their way out. This is what God wills. And even the secular lefty liberal Jews, they're experiencing the backlash right now. I read a lot of articles of these Israeli women that are leftist liberal types in Europe with European boyfriends, whether in France or wherever, or in England. And they can't get along with their non-Jewish boyfriends because they're even if they're secular, liberal, leftist, progressive Israelis, their boyfriends are getting on their case because of Israel, and it breaks their relationships apart. Guess what? Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the hand of God working right there for you. If you need more evidence of that,
that's a good little antidote. Yeah, that's a good little. Yeah. That's good. That's a good little proof there, Sam.
Yeah, it's over. I mean, they're not going to get the chance to behave like white Europeans anymore. That privilege and that liberty is being taken away from
them. Claire, final statements for the show. We'll give you the floor.
Thank you. I was just going to say that
go ahead and please promote your website and Twitter and go ahead.
Yes, I will. Thank you, John, for having me. And I was just going to say that liberalism has destroyed the identities of both Jews and Gentiles. I mean, thank you, Sam,
Yeah.
for confirming that for me. So liberalism is a destroyer, and if Jews, Christians, and Muslims actually believed in the principles of their religion, which is to, at the very least, support the institutions of marriage and the family, this wouldn't happen. People would just, want to throw out feminism that undermines marriage in so many ways. But I think it is atheism that prevents men from taking the risk and making the sacrifices that would be required to fight the matriarchy, which is what the political orthodoxy is now. It is intersectionality, intersectional feminism, or being woke, and all that nonsense, which
Pure
is
mental
about free
illness.
love.
Pure
Yes, sir.
mental illness. It's just pure mental illness. There's no other words to describe it. And it's all because the system has run out of steam. The system has been exhausted, and we have to own up to the fact that there are socioeconomic reasons that are beyond just our control. There are engineers and there are manipulative people that actually want this. They are like Malthusians, and they are eugenicists, and they're the ones behind the scenes wanting all of this depravity and mental illness. And we should just call them out and say, we're done with you. And that's happening. I'm glad that the confusion and the mist, the fog is lifting. And it doesn't matter who these assholes are, from which ethnic groups or from which combination of ethnic groups. They do exist, and they've stated their goals and their agendas. And if we want to break free of them, you call them out, and John does it, and Vaughn does it. You call them out, and in order to find a solution, we call for the end of their manipulation and control. And that's why you reject Hollywood. That's why you reject popular culture. That's why you no longer participate in it. You call it out.
You have to reject the bribe of free love, which is what feminism offers you.
That too. I mean, there's nothing.
I actually think that feminists are higher status than Jews. I mean, everybody sort of thinks, Jews are so cunning. And I thought, well, actually, it's a feminist. It's a women, because people who don't like Jews.
I was listening to what's her name, Melody Krell. She a New York Jew that was in Hollywood and
has a boyfriend who's a Gentile.
Yeah, right. And she was a producer over there working in Hollywood. And she said one thing about Hollywood that's very true. It's at a certain point, Michael Ovitz was also a big Hollywood producer, a Jewish Hollywood producer. And in the 90s, he came out and said, Hollywood is no longer in the hands of the Jews. It's in the hands of the gay mafia. It's in the hands of Satanists. Hollywood is back in the 90s. He called them out for having usurped the Jewish hand in Hollywood, and then now we realize there are pedophile cults, Satan cults, gay mafia. That's what's taken over Hollywood. It's no longer this trope of a Jewish Hollywood. It's not Jewish anymore. It's absolutely pure Satanism in Hollywood right now. It's not forget about the Jews in control of Hollywood. Even the leftovers there that have actually succumbed and actually participated in it, the overall hand in Hollywood that controls Hollywood is not Jewish. It's Satanism. It's paganism of the word. It's like what Vaughn would call the left hand. It's a pedophile cults now. It's fully exposed. It's irredeemable. Just totally rejected. If you want to build something, build it from scratch, something new. And that's what's happening anyway. Hollywood is being rejected because they're so vile. There's nothing there. It's irredeemable.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the only thing that could protect people is to have some standards. And I see that in the no-height laws, which nobody really wants to talk about. I mean, I see them as a minimum moral standard that underpins. Well, I mean, that we should have minimum moral standards, but maybe people don't want to talk about these things anymore.
Well, it's going to be given to them the hard way. There's going to be a hard landing, and all this stuff will stop in its tracks, and they continue on behaving like this. It's just they're going to destroy themselves quicker. They're on the road to zombie apocalypse, and if they don't stop themselves, that's where it ends. That's where it ends up. They become so vulnerable, so weak, that they end up consuming themselves, destroying themselves, and then some of them lash out and they become, like you said, feral. Whether it's the teens or they're adults, they end up becoming feral, no matter which race or which ethnic group or which background. And the fact
is that not having an immune system if you don't have a religion. That's what I'm really trying to say. Because then if you don't have these standards, your ruling classes will just do the wrong thing. They will always do the bad thing, even when a better option exists. So they will just keep doing the wrong things for the wrong reasons.
Right. Well, you know what? If you stop feeling sorry for the dregs and you give them a hard love, or not, like Giuliani, and then things begin to straighten up. Like in the 90s when he straightened out New York City, even those dregs and the feral types, they took an example from the popular culture of the time, or the behavior of the generation of the time. And they wanted to improve themselves. They didn't want to be outcasts. When you set an example in the majority of the culture is upright and clean cut, or admirable, the dregs and the backwards types, they actually want to they want to emulate the ones that are in the majority. They want to improve themselves. When you allow for the majority of the popular culture to be degenerate, there's nothing to aspire for. And it just continues spiraling deeper and deeper into degeneracy. It's like setting a role model, from the majority of the population, sets an example. That's why the 50s and the early 60s, you wanted to rebel against that, but at the same time, that was a column, like a foundation, a stalwart kind of stable culture and stable, examples that you want. But what took it over is the counterculture and rebelling against it. And then once they totally turned it degenerate, there's nobody kind of wanted to aspire to be upright. And then, like in the 90s, you had a revival of it with Giuliani in New York. But that quickly went away because people don't want to try. People really don't want to exert themselves.
It takes a lot of effort to try, Sammy.
Yep.
It takes a lot of effort. I think that's a great way to end the show. I really do appreciate everyone coming by. Vaughn, stick around. Me and you got the Fallout mods to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sammy. Thank you for coming by. Claire, thank you for coming by.
Thank
I really
you for having me.
Yep.
Bye.
Have a good day, guys.
Have a great night, Sammy.
All
right, Vaughn.
Yeehaw. Well, I put the Cleveland parts in there and my game crashed. So I could figure out why my game is crashing and try to get it to not crash. And but the game